All right, let's get into the Pac-12 and the CW back in business. It's a story we've been reporting here on the Monty Show. Much to the chagrins of Pac-12 fans, we nailed it because, as you see in this release, the Pac-12 and the CW are back in business. Their agreement remains largely the same from an X's and O's standpoint. Obviously, you have much more details in a thoroughly vetted basketball agreement, as well as football. You get 13 regular season football games on the CW, in addition to the previously announced CBS Sports deal. 35 regular season men's basketball games on the CW, 15 women's games on the CW, postseason tournaments, all of this great stuff. And then you get into the truth. Somebody tell me what's missing from this graphic right here. I don't know, the dollars and cents of the deal, how the money works out, who's paying for what. Because again, as I've told you for over a year, dating back to the last time we got a CW deal, the Pac-12 produces their own games for the CW. The Pac-12 not only produces those games, they foot the bill for those games. That is an expense out of pocket that directly comes off the bottom line of these media rights deals. And it is significant because when you think about the cost of producing a game, yes, it is in fact true. Pac-12 has state-of-the-art studios now in San Ramon, California. Yes, they have all of their own equipment. They have their own TV trucks, cameras, mixers, all that stuff. You've got to pay for the human cost. You have got to continue to keep that equipment up to date and state-of-the-art. You have got to pay for the talent, things like producers, directors, parabolic mic guys, all of it. And we can sit here and we can sugarcoat this deal. There is no doubt that after talking to people directly involved in this situation, there is disappointment in the Pac-12 about being back on the CW. And a couple of other notes that I can tell you exclusively, and this is something I've told you repeatedly. ESPN was never in a position where they wanted the full carriage of Pac-12 media rights. The great radio wizard of the Northwest, I believe at one point, was reporting that ESPN and the Pac-12 were about to make a media rights deal. That never happened. There have been discussions, and they are ongoing, for the Pac-12 to have some of their third-tier games that will not be on CBS or the CW, carried on ESPN's direct-to-consumer platform. Those conversations are ongoing. A lot of them focus around women's basketball, men's basketball, stick and ball sports, as well as their track and field championships, I know have been talked about there. But at no point was ESPN in the position, or were conversations centered around ESPN taking a full media rights deal with the Pac-12. That simply just was erroneous reporting, as I've been telling you for months. What the Pac-12 is finding out is that when you do business as you've always done business, which is asking an exorbitant amount, well over market value for your media rights, Jake, that's a hard no from most TV partners.
Yeah, and I think that, we've been pretty steadfast on this, and I got to say, like, this is hardly surprising. I'm not sitting here like, oh my God, man, they're not listing the financials of the deal. Why not? Well, we know why not, because it's not a great deal financially. It's a deal that was available to them, and so they took it. There isn't all this nonsense, all this ploy, all this, sugarcoating of, oh man, we've got all these deals, and our great TV deals are we're going to have a great TV deal, and then we'll be on to winning the world. Like, that's all just stick. It's all just fluff. And at some point, this conference is going to learn a really difficult lesson, and the leadership in this conference is going to learn a difficult lesson, which is, if you're going to treat people poorly, and you're going to try to wreck conferences, and you're going to try to sue everybody for everything that they have, even though you don't have a case to sue them with, and you're still doing it, you're not going to be an attractive partner in many areas of your business. And again, it's important to remember that media rights is just one area of a college football conference's business, if you will. And it just happens to be one of the more important ones given the situation that they're in. So the idea that you're announcing this amazing TV deal and you're not sitting here saying, yeah, every school is getting $8 million a year or whatever the number would be, is absolutely ludicrous to me.
Yeah.
How are you not sitting here saying like, hey, this is a really solid TV deal. We're getting $6 million a year. Again, whatever the number is, why am I not getting another Teresa Gould interview? Why am I not hearing from JD Wicker? Why am I not like, where is everybody? Well, that's right. There's not a lot of great talking points right now. That's the issue. That's
Yeah.
Hear from anyone.
And I can tell you, I had some difficult conversations about this over the last week because, we've been hearing rumblings that the Pac-12 was not able to deliver their promise. And I'm going to play this bite from Teresa Gould here in a minute about transformational partnerships from the winter. But one of the things I think is so interesting about this graphic right here, and I can never get the finger pointing right, there is real disappointment inside of the Pac-12 from its newest members. And I think that the better word is, instead of disappointment, it feels to me like frustration, because there was an expectation that they would have a multi-platform deal where they would have a deal that put them on screens across the country. And I think one of the things that's so interesting is some of the verbiage in this announcement today. The CW Network and the Pac-12 Conference today jointly announced an extension of their partnership. An extension of their partnership, which began in 2024. So this is just continuing the deal that was in place, right? But you've expanded it a little bit. The new Pac-12 launches in 26-27, right? Okay. And it says, the line above that, the extended partnership will further the league's transformational beginnings. That's a very interesting line, because let's go back to Teresa Gould with Front Office Sports over the winter. Listen to how she describes what they're looking for in a TV deal and ask yourself, is this deal they announced with the CW, is this the one she's talking about right here?
The one thing I keep saying to potential partners is, given where we are as a league, I don't want these partnerships to be transactional partnerships. I don't want this to be a media rights partner writing us a check and televising a bunch of games. We need these partnerships to be transformational at this point, and for somebody to really jump in with us and say, we want to help elevate and reimagine the new Pac-12.
Now, I'm going to say that's a no. And when we talk about what transformational TV deals look like, this is ESPN's deal with the Big 12. This is Fox, CBS's deal with the Big 10. Big 10 Saturday night on NBC. This is NBC's deal with Notre Dame. And when I say that and why that matters, and I know Pac-12 fans are already crapping themselves in anger that I hate the Pac-12. Okay. But is there anybody who believes that the CW can call on behalf of Boise State and say, hey, Alabama, we're going to need you to play Boise State in 2027 to kick off the new Pac-12 season. We're going to send a contract over. No, I don't think that's happening. I don't think it's happening where you can have ESPN calling on behalf of BYU all those years in independence and telling the Pac-12, hey, let's make a deal between the Pac-12 and BYU. Let's put you guys in business together and have a mutually beneficial deal. That's not happening. And I'll continue to tell you this about people like, I don't know, Gloria Nevarez. So she finds out that her conference is being raided. Hasn't even gone public yet. What did she do? What was the first thing she did? Called her TV partners. And what are we finding out now? Well, what have we reported exclusively on this show? CBS will be part of the Mountain West's new TV deal. They're in conversations that are deep down the road with ESPN's new direct-to-consumer platform, right? Like, they're doing a deal based on the relationships they have in place already.
That they cultivated and took care of.
The Pac-12 can't do that because they don't have relationships. So you're stuck in a situation with a regional TV network like the CW, and it's great in their footprint because in the footprint of the CW, you do have all the Pac-12 schools, but by no definition is this transformative. It's damaging. It is disappointing and frustrating. And I think at some point, this also, I am told, is not the end of their deal. There will be other pieces to the Pac-12 media rights deal. But at some point, you are going to need to tell people how much money you are making. Because if you don't tell people what your TV deal is, and we don't find out until the public disclosures from your member institutions in what would be the summer of 2027, that's going to be a very bad way of doing business, because that number is not going to be impressive. And you need to get out in front of that. And I don't know by which guess or guesstimate you can even fathom here. There's no way this is a $15 million per year per school deal. That's just because that's what we've been hearing. Oh, first it was 8, then it was 10, now it's 15. If this is $6 million in total with the CW and CBS, I would be thrilled. Let me run through the fields jumping over tulips in celebration, because if this deal is $6 million, I think that's a gift. Because this is a small deal, as was their deal with CBS, which again didn't have any firm commitments financially, as is this deal with the CW, which has 0 commitments financially. At some point, Jake, I think they got to put a number on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you know, this idea of you know, people early on in the process speculating, you know, 10 to 15 million a year, and then humbling themselves and coming back down to like 8 to 10 a year. You know, it's what we do in sports, right? We always want to get ahead of it. We always want to be first, and then I also think, you know, to add on to that, the conversation around like the actual, you know, the concept of, okay, well, hey, CW, because all the Pac-12 homers are like, oh, well, CW is a national thing, and so is CBS, and what do you mean it's regional? Do you not understand that, you know, when you do a deal with the CW affiliates somewhere in the Eastern time zone has no interest in showing a Pac-12 game, because that is literally of no relevance to their viewer. So you're not just saying, oh, hey, we're doing a deal with CW and they're just going to put us on every single station nationally. Number one, do you know how much that would cost? Just number one, do you know how much you'd have to pay for that? Just generally speaking, number one. But then number two, do you understand the type of agreement that you would have to create with the CW to get them to agree to showing irrelevant, you know, content to their audiences that are out of market? Nobody gives a damn about, like, it's nobody not good for a TV partner.
Nobody in Florida wants to watch Washington State, Boise State play football. No, I am telling you that if you're the CW and this is a national deal, the money you will have to kick down to your affiliates, out of market affiliates. And I would imagine anybody west of the Rockies would be thrilled with Pac-12 football on a Saturday afternoon. I would imagine in February, when it's Pac-12, you know, basketball season, I think if you can get Gonzaga on the CW in pretty much any market, even west of the Mississippi, I think you'd be thrilled with that. But again, do you think anybody in the Northeast or in the Southeast wants to watch Gonzaga, Fresno State play basketball? I'm going to tell you the answer is no. And that's going to be very difficult. Those affiliates, and we saw this with Live Golf on the CW. Remember what happened with Live Golf? They turned it off for Little House on the Prairie. I'm not even exaggerating. You had CW affiliates turning off mid-round on a Saturday. The final round at Live Golf is Saturday, I think, right? Or whatever their final round is. They're turning off halfway through the final round to put on reruns of Little House on the Prairie. What do you think they will do to Fresno State football in Florida, North Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama? And not to mention, if that's on a Saturday, and let's say that game kicks off at 1:30 Pacific, that's 4:30 Eastern. You're in the middle of a primetime SEC window, going into the late window in the SEC. Nobody's going to watch that game.
Yeah, and let's say, you know, and that would be the point too. Like, let's say that they were, you know, just going hard on the East Coast and out of market, just showing these games, and they weren't getting viewership. Do you think that's good for the Pac-12? Do you think that 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 the Pac-12 wants to go through that? No,
Yeah.
probably not. Like the idea, the deal is, hey, in market, yeah, they're going to show Pac-12 games a lot. And that's part of the deal. But I think the bigger crime in this deal, and like you said, they're going to add other other pieces to it. I'm sure there will be a streaming component. I'm sure that there will be, a CBS component at some point, obviously.
Yep.
But I look at this and I say, no matter where you come down on this, no matter what fight you want to have about the Pac-12 today, the reality of the situation is you're not boasting about the money you're making in this deal because you're not making money. And that's what you can't get away from. And to take it one step further, if you're not making money in your TV deal, like if you're not to say there's not revenue, but if you're not profitable in that TV deal for your member institutions, you're never getting out of the hole you're digging yourself with the legal stuff and with all this stuff that you've done.
And you look at what Nexstar Media said about, I want to say Nexstar put out a press release at some point talking about how the highest rated game on the CW last year was Washington State, Oregon State in Corvallis.
Mm-hmm.
And, their saturation was 30% of CW affiliates last year. So they had a regional deal last year, which I think is the exact right thing for the Pac-12. The Pac-12, and I know the Pac-12 wants to be a power conference again. There is no financial benefit for the Pac-12 being in anywhere, in my opinion, east of the Rockies. That just does not make any sense. If you're Nebraska, dude in Nebraska is not going to watch Pac-12 football. And obviously with Colorado State, you look at, okay, I get that. But if you've got a Boise State football game anywhere in the CW footprint west of the Rockies, people are going to watch that. People are going to watch that. If you've got a San Diego State football game against Boise State, San Diego State, up and down the West Coast, that is an attractive football game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not attractive to people in Chicago, New York. It is not attractive in Pennsylvania, the Southeast. And that's why last year I thought, and I said, and I know it's crazy, because Monty doesn't say nice things about the Pac-12 apparently, it was a really smart deal. That 30% was very regionally placed, and it's exactly what the Pac-12 should have been doing. You don't need a national deal. There's a reason that ESPN television and people like Fox Sports are not picking up your entire package and guaranteeing you windows, because the viewership isn't there. And if you really look at what's not there, the dollars and cents for the affiliate viewer is not there. And if a CW affiliate who without question makes more money on reruns, good shows, whether it's Seinfeld, pick your 90s and 2000s TV show, your 80s TV show, they make more money on those reruns than they would ever make on an out of market West Coast, where East Coast folks, especially in the Northeast, are not big fans of anything West Coast, football game between Boise State and Fresno State.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad business. So my guess is we're going to see similar saturation rates that we saw last year. We'll see similar saturation rates this year. And I think when this new deal kicks off, I would hope that there is excitement around the kickoff of the new Pac-12, because it's going to be a really good football league, I think. And I would hope that west of the Rockies, it dominates in TV numbers, because I think that's what it will do. The west of the Rockies footprint with that kind of carriage is a very strong position and a very strong play for the Pac-12. It makes zero sense to be beaming that out all over the country, especially when you're trying to compete with larger brands. It makes no sense at all whatsoever. All right. Let's see who's first one in on this. Look at you guys going back and forth. Just saw YouTube TV and Fox reached a short-term deal, meaning Fox wants money and YouTube TV needs Fox because NFL and college football is about to start.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
It's very interesting how those deals can get done when you put enough pressure. And the noise that college football fans made, I think, made a difference. And these carriage disputes just generally don't get done until somebody feels a pain point. And I'm going to guess that YouTube TV and Fox felt a pain point somewhere. Oak State James, funny how that long press release has no information about money. And I'm hoping that it does at some point, because I think it's really, really important. It is really important for the Pac-12 to have a financial win. They need it. I'm not going to say desperately, let's not get crazy, but they really need an influx of cash quickly, because these lawsuits with the Mountain West are getting more and more expensive because you haven't settled them.
You
So
guys
just
understand, not to cut you off, sorry. You understand that the CW's also got ACC TV rights as well. You understand that, right?
Regional, yeah.
You understand that the ACC and the CW have a relationship. So I don't know, man. Maybe the Pac-12 in the Eastern time zone will just dominate and everything's perfect and sunshine and flowers. But man, dude, I don't know, bro. I just, if you have like their first ACC game is SMU and Baylor, it would surprise me if SMU Baylor wasn't a better poll than Boise State and whoever, or hell, even a lesser game, right? Because Boise State's, like let's say it's San Jose State and San Diego State. Like, come on, dude. Let's be real.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I think this deal has very regional value. And, I was looking at the CW website, and I don't know here in Salt Lake City, I don't know how to watch the CW. Like, I'm sure I looked at Pittsburgh and it's like WPNT TV. I'm sure that if you have Comcast Pittsburgh, I think Comcast is a big cable provider. If you have Comcast in Pittsburgh, you can find the CW. But I don't think you're looking for the CW because Pac-12 football's on. Now, if you're looking at their other sports properties, let's not forget they have the NASCAR Xfinity Series. They have WWE on CW. They have ACC football. Next year, they'll have the full Pac-12. Like, it is you look at the ACC schedule. And again, this is why I say, if you're a Pac-12 fan, what's the ACC schedule on the CW? Kennesaw State, Wake Forest. Right? And then it's Georgia Tech, Colorado in Boulder. Okay, that's not a bad game. But you're getting Duquesne and Pitt. Okay, it's a small game. You're going to have small viewership. But you get Syracuse and Tennessee. Okay, that's something that I think could absolutely bring people to the yard. And the reason that you're looking at those games is, well, that's on ABC, right? The Georgia Tech Colorado game is on ESPN. So if I go to like the CW, it's Baylor SMU on Saturday, September 6th. That's not a bad game. It's a regional game. That's a regional game, right? That is Waco versus Dallas. Okay, I understand why that's on the CW, right? But if I go down, the next game is September 13th. It's South Florida and Miami. 4:30 on that next Saturday. Was that the 13th? That's a decent game in South Florida where they have a huge affiliate. Okay, let's keep going. Like, you keep looking at games and trying to figure out the big games. Like, you get Wake Forest, Oregon State on October 11th. Is that a huge game where you're going to draw fans coast to coast? It doesn't feel like it. So you look at these big games that they're competing against. I just don't know how how you expect to win if you're the Pac-12 in that light. That's what I really struggle with. King of Thailand, University of Pittsburgh is a high-ranked institution for medical research. Okay. That's cool. Thank you for that. Funny how long that press release was with no money. Correct. King of Thailand says, I love Gloria. Okay. Oh, look, Sweet Beans TV is here. Sweet Beans only shows up when we talk Pac-12.
Yeah, this ought to be rich.
And usually he either curses at me or tells me I'm a liar, which you're never able to tell me how I'm lying. What regional network? Last I checked, CBS and the CW are national broadcasters. The CW. Tell me you don't know a business of TV without telling me. The CW. And you should.
Bro, you make it so easy, dude.
You're
honestly.
wading into water that you clearly don't know what you're talking about. The CW is a network of affiliates. And to be national, they need all of their affiliates to pick up whatever programming to have full reach. The CW sells on saturation. And this was the issue. If they're such a great network and they're national, why did Live Golf leave the CW? Because the CW could not promise them full saturation, and the saturation, the markets where they were carried, would not guarantee them full carriage. And thus the story about, hey, we're putting on Little House on the Prairie at 3:00, no matter where you are in your golf tournament. Because that's who makes them money. So again, with all due respect, you're out of your depth here. CBS Sports Network is not a regional network. It is a cable network only. So we are just spewing misinformation. Bro, so now, and this is what I don't get about Pac-12 fans. You're crushing the Mountain West for their TV deal. They have a better TV deal than you do right now. And they're on CBS Sports Network. And now all of a sudden, CBS Sports Network is great and the Mountain West sucks. You can't have it both ways, man. I get it, Pac-12 fan. You're upset. This doesn't feel good. The truth is the truth. Those of us that have worked in TV for a very long time, those of us that have contacts in TV who can call people and say, hey, what does this deal really look like? Which, I don't know, I did today, and I talked to multiple TV executives about it. The single biggest question is how much saturation does the Pac-12 get out of the CW? And do you think I'm talking about Miami and Pittsburgh because I just pulled that off the top of my head? No, those are big CW markets. And if you go and do some research, I know, you don't use Google in the Pac-12. If you go and do some research,
the Bing conference.
Yeah, thank you. All of the CW affiliates and carriage are on Google. You don't have to go. I'll even show you CW affiliate list. And it comes right up on the CW network. Find your station. You can go to Wikipedia, CW affiliate list. Albany and Schenectady, New York ain't taken. Fresno State, San Diego State. I can tell you that right now. They're owned by Sinclair, right? You go and look. The CW does not own Albuquerque, Des Moines, Atlanta. Do you think Atlanta, WPCH TV, owned by Gray Media, do you think they're taking Washington State versus Colorado State football? I'm going to say they're not. And if you go up and down, the ones that you should pay attention to, Next Star Media, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Ask yourself on a Saturday afternoon, if you're in Baton Rouge, the home of LSU, do you think that CW affiliate, that CW station, do you think they want San Diego State and whoever, Oregon State football? Do you think they want that? They're not going to carry that. And if you think that all of these stations in Tuscaloosa, if you think the Quad Cities, Charlotte, you think Chicago, you think WGN TV on a Saturday afternoon in Big Ten country is taking the second, or even, I don't care, Boise State, San Diego State, do you think they're WGN TV in a Big Ten market is going to put that game up against anything that is on the Big Ten family of networks?
Nope.
Do you think Boise State, San Diego State football game is going to outrun or outdraw reruns of the Andy Griffith Show? Reruns of any Seinfeld? 8 is enough. I'm trying to think of 80s TV shows.
Anything more relevant than a game that people don't care about on the West Coast.
And you take it so personally, man. It's business. What you don't understand is this is the business of television.
Yeah.
They make money. Trust me when I say Different Strokes makes WGN TV money. Chips reruns makes them. Murder, She Wrote. These are all just do I get no credit for murder?
Yeah, I mean, this is all just off,
She
dude. This is all just off the top of your dome because these are all the shows you watched back in the day that now the CW has.
Thank you for calling me old.
By the way,
they're going to take that game over Cheers?
Hey, Sweet Beans, you're talking to a guy that knows all the shows that are on the dub because he watched them back in the day. So
I'm old.
By the way, still waiting for your retort here. It's been 5 minutes we've been talking about you and no comment. What happened? Come on, dude.
I wish for Pac-12 fans that you wouldn't take everything so personally.
But they do.
That is. West Coast Gumby, I'm down to watch Three's Company. Bro. Okay, don't do this. Do not
we're going down the path now.
Do not fill up the comment section.
Everybody, thanks, Sweet Beans, for sending us down this path, dude.
Marcus Welby, MD, was a hell of a show, bro.
Stay home.
Do you guys remember the Ferrari that they used on Magnum PI? What did we always do? Do you remember when we were doing the morning show at the Maverick Center and we'd walk in and flipping Baywatch would be on every morning?
Yes.
All right, we got to turn off the Boise State football game for Tan Cleavage and David Hasselhoff. Come on. Cougs Johnson. Old Miss Wake Forest got 240,000 less views than Washington State, San Jose State last year. Yeah, I'm sure it did. I'm not even telling you. Regionally, I would expect if you put, again, Boise State, San Diego State, anywhere west of the Rockies, that's a big viewership. Big viewership. I look at you as a Washington State fan. Dude, you're delivering a good part of the Seattle market. You're getting Spokane. You're getting Seattle, Tacoma, Vancouver. Like, you're getting a good part of the PNW with Washington State. You put on Washington State, Oregon State, you're delivering a vast majority of the Pacific Northwest and then some. That's a good football game people will watch.
Yes.
But I'm just going to continue to say, Pac-12 fan, you have to think logically. Okay. MASH. No, can't do it.
Okay, that's
Chris,
enough. Stop, please.
Watching the Knight Rider reruns after San Jose State, Colorado State. Exactly right. King of Queens. Thank you. Knight Rider or Airwolf? Oh, Knight Rider.
The Wolf.
Do you guys remember Airwolf?
The Wolf of Wall Street.
You know. Monty, who was the hottest sister on Anus?
Brother.
Oh my God. Such a good show. Such a good show. Cheers. I Love Lucy, Brady Bunch, Partridge Family. Oh my God. Danny, what's his name? Oh, the redhead. Lori was hot. I Dream of Jeannie. Oh, I've stroked a bottle to that. Joey Harper. It's just like the regional schedule in the NFL. But don't tell Pac-12 fans that because they lose their mind. A-Team. Oh, man, I loved Mr. T when I was a kid. Craig says, whoa, excuse me. The Real P Forte Threes Company filled a lot of socks to Chrissy. Wow.
Damn.
Filled a lot of socks.
Damn, bro.
Are you kidding me? Craig says WKRP and Maude. God, do you guys remember Maude? What was the show with, oh my God, the four old ladies that lived together? Oh my God, with Betty White.
Golden Girls?
Golden Girls. That's the show that Jake filled socks to. Yes,
I actually
sir.
never watched Golden Girls.
You're a liar. You watch your mouth. Threes Company, yes. Chips, Miami Vice, Dukes of Hazzard, Bo or Luke. Do you know how many General Lees they went through on that show? Oak State James, but that's why the Pac-12 needs to add either North Texas, Memphis, or Tulane.
Monty, if they add those schools, the ops building quality alone will make the people tune in on the CW. They can do a whole pregame thing on it. It'll be absolutely incredible. By the way, my electrodes are really doing well today. Thanks for asking, even though you didn't ask.
James, who has a rectal insertion of an electronic probe, it just helps keep them regular. You guys stop DMing me on TikTok.
Monty, here are all the affiliates of the CW in New Jersey and New York and New Hampshire and Rhode Island and just the one off in Georgia and stuff too. Here you go.
Chris on TikTok. Monty is an 80s TV aficionado. Poncherello on a motorcycle or Crockett in a Ferrari. Get out of here.
Yeah,
Crockett in a Ferrari.
Duh.
Poncherello. You notice those guys were never seriously hurt when they fell off their motorcycles? Jerks. John Baker always won. I loved Chips. Oh, dude. Emergency. Was Emergency 70s or 80s TV? I think it might have been 70s. All in the Family, Archie Bunker style. Meathead, hell yeah. Yes, the facts of life. The facts of life. You take the good, you take the bad, and there you. I'm telling you, it just brings me home. Yeah, I should stop. Gilligan's Island, not a lot. Oh my God, Beverly Hillbillies.
I'm sorry. Did you just say Beverly Hillbillies?
Up from the ground came hillbillies. Yeah. Up from the ground came some bubbling crude oil. That is. Black Gold, Texas tea. How is it that I can't remember my name on most days, but you asked me to sing the theme to the Beverly Hillbillies and I can knock it down? I'm a loser. Sanford and Son. Yes, Sanford and Son. Love that show. Love that show. I stroked a bottle to that. Yeah. 93-minute mark of the show. Mark it down.
You got to get stroked.
Daisy Dukes. Yes.
Honestly, that's our stroking guys.
Oh my God. Do you guys, what was the other TV show with the guy that was accused of murdering his girlfriend or his wife? Beretta. Oh, Starsky and Hutch. Yes. Oh, Hill Street Blues. Oh, Moonlighting.
Let's wind the clocks back a year.
I can keep going. Cougs Johnson. Unfortunately, 50% of all TV viewership comes from only 18 teams. Well, you're not wrong about that. Man, Baywatch, 8-year-old me was in love with Pam. Yeah, but don't you know now just how dirty Pam was?
That's the issue, isn't it?
Right? Like, wasn't it nice when we were all innocent guys and we thought she was an innocent gal?
Biologics.
Yeah, and then you get some on you and your skin starts boiling.
Human or non-human?
Yeah, biologics. Like, it's
biologics.
Just, it's not good. Gilligan's Island, Marianne or Ginger? Marianne all day. Yeah, Marianne. Perry Mason, always good. Always good. What about, oh no, the guy in Boston. Oh my God. Oh, the detective.
Fucking Cole Beasley.
No, not Cole Beasley. The guy, he drove the Mustang. Oh my God. He was a private detective. He had the tall black guy with the bald head, the partner. Oh, God, I love that show.
Wolf of Wall Street.
No. You're such a cop. Oh my God. I got to find that show. No. Yes, reruns of Jerry Springer from NBC Tower. Yeah, 21 Jump Street with Johnny Depp.
Bro.
Oh, man. Not MacGyver. MacGyver was phenomenal, too. Spencer for Hire. Yes. Spencer for Hire. Dude, I could do this all day. Yeah, Kurt Myers. Monty is hallucinating again, or is this dementia? Kojak.
We did.
What about the Coroner Show? Oh my God, the Coroner Show. Jack. Oh my God.
Mehoff.
Shut up. Jack Klugman.
Yeah, same thing. Klugman,
was the
Mehoff,
corner?
who's counting?
Oh, the Coroner Show with Jack Klugman. Oh, it's such Quincy. Wasn't it Quincy? Oh, please.
Hello, man.
Yes. Yes, Quincy. Quincy MD.
Quincy.
$6 million man. Hell yeah. Taxi. Hell yeah. Barney Miller. Absolutely not. Oh, Alf was good. See, that's it. Show's over. Right? Like, that is, bye, Jake. It was so good. Dude, 80s TV was so good, but anything not to have to talk about the, is this a good deal for the Pac-12? Let's put a bow on this. Do you, in your opinion, in the comment section, do you guys believe this is a good deal for the Pac-12? The Pac-12 and the CW announced an expansive deal today. No details. They didn't tell us how many affiliates, what the saturation was. They didn't tell us how much money, who was paying for what. It's a very interesting way to spin this deal. I don't know that we can say this is a good deal yet. I just don't. And when you look at these teams exiting the Mountain West, the money and the frustration, as it was explained to me today, was the money they've spent, the battle they're fighting, the bridges they've burned for a TV deal that doesn't get them the distribution that they had in the Mountain West is very problematic.
What are we doing?
And yeah, and if you are the Mountain West and you bring in a deal that ends you up back on CBS and gets you on ESPN on some form or fashion, then this is going to be a tough sell to the former members. And it's very difficult. If you are a Pac-12 fan, I understand it. And I understand my Pac-12 fans. I understand why Pac-12 fans are frustrated today. And it is this false expectation. And this is across our society. It's pervasive. Oh, we're the best. We're the greatest. Make America great again. The Gulf of America. Like, we do this stuff in politics now where we just blow things up and it's amazing and all this money and like, you look at this. Doge is going to do that. We're going to do this. We're going to cut it in half. It's going to end on day one. And then none of that happens. It's exactly what the Pac-12 did. Oh, best P5 conference that's not a P5. We'll be a P5. Well, we'll be the best G6.
The
And
little brother syndrome is incredible.
We're going to have an incredible media rights deal. The biggest one you've ever seen. And they were telling me it's amazing what this conference is. And I've heard that, and people are saying, and then you're back on the CW without telling us how much money you're making.
Because you're not making any money, and we all know it.
You get a huge win with your announcement in partnership with CBS. And then dead silence and no dollar figure attached to it, only to turn around and announce the CW. So there's no, again, way back in the day, $15 million, $12 million, $10 million.
How long are we going to do this in the Pac-12? How long are we going to sit here and be like, yeah, they're going to get $600 million and Kirk Schultz is going to hold up the CFP committee? How long? Like, how many times over are we going to do this, guys? Like, how many times over are we going to sit here and make these ridiculous comments and statements only to be proven to look like an absolute buffoon? I mean, that's what this is over and over and over again. And again, I'm more than happy to just ask this very, very simple questions. Still waiting for an answer from anybody. How is this conference going to be financially viable moving forward? You don't have a great TV deal. You're swamped in legal costs. Like where at what point? And I will die on this hill. At what point does the Pac-12 get private equity involved to boost the conference financially to get them to a higher level?
Can you? And my bigger question is with this CW deal, what happens if Boise State's not a good team this year? What happens if without Ashton Ginty, they backslide? Because the hit piece that John Canzano put out on UNLV today is remarkable. John Canzano essentially said that people at UNLV are disappointed not to be in the Pac-12. John Canzano today, and I do not subscribe to John Canzano, so I appreciate all 1,500 of you who sent me his article, including our guy Phil Venzer, Angry Phil from Vegas. It was a strange thing to throw out there talking about how UNLV took a shot at the Pac-12. A shocking statement is what they're saying. When Eric Harper, who's the athletic director at UNLV, put his name on one longtime former Pac-12 executive called a shocking statement. Nobody I've talked to was shocked about anything that Eric Harper said. I have talked to multiple people at UNLV, and it's how, and I want to make sure that people understand this. It is how we have been so on top of everything that's happening in Vegas. Do you, again, for Bean's transistor radio guy thing,
Transistor radio guy.
For all of the Pac-12 haters who say, I don't have sources and I don't talk to anybody. How are we so right about UNLV then? How are we so right about the Mountain West being in business with CBS? How are we so right about all of this? We don't talk to anybody. Because I can tell you, I've talked to people at UNLV who have straight up told me they never seriously considered going to the Pac-12. The money never made sense to them. The pitch, if indeed the pitch was, you're going to have to sue to get out of the Mountain West in those exit fees, that was a non-starter because all of these athletic directors and presidents talked about this amongst themselves. It never made sense to the people I spoke to at UNLV. During that entire process, it never made sense to those people to leave the Mountain West to go to the Pac-12 for money that isn't guaranteed, with no media rights deal and no future to speak of. Because that's the reality in the Pac-12. And again, Pac-12 fan, be pissed off, get upset. Okay, cool. You can't tell me what you're making in your media rights deal. And I can almost assure you can't tell me because they don't even know what they're making in their media rights deal. And they've had what I believe they're in business with CAA, who is supposedly negotiating their TV deals. CAA can't even bring in a TV deal for the Pac-12. They don't know their media rights deal. They don't know how they're going to make money or how much money they're going to make. They are paying enormous legal fees in their battle with the Mountain West. And it was all sold on the Mountain West is going to disappear anyway. And we're going to have a huge media rights contract. And none of that's come to fruition because the Mountain West didn't just fold and disappear. The Mountain West went and got GCU, and you're so upset about that. Now you're suing them over it or amending a lawsuit to include that. And so again, I ask you, when you hear about this stuff and you hear the Canzanos of the world who by any stretch of the imagination and any description has been inaccurate about everything that's happened in the Pac-12, all the way back to the meltdown. This conference is going to make it $50 million a year, back of the envelope calculations. This guy has been wrong repeatedly, so much so that the people he talks about come and talk to us. They reach out to us. When he was telling people that $50 million a year, we had people in years ago now. Hey, it's not necessarily true. We're not. I can't tell you. And again, I go back to the meltdown at Washington, the University of Washington, when they called our studio and tried to drill us for 5 minutes. And at the end of the day, apologized. And it's just, we're fighting against this narrative being put out by Pac-12 media.
A dude gets on the phone and is like, I'm going to talk to your boss.
Yeah, the guy literally from Washington. Because what happened was we called President Kase. And it got back to her people that we called her. And people affiliated with that program lost their mind. We're calling your boss. Who? Okay, well, sure. You got his number because you just dialed it. Here, let me transfer you. Like, it was remarkable. And so today, you get this nonsense where Canzano says, who's calling the shots at UNLV? Were the Rebels fools or wise to turn their backs on the Pac-12? One well-placed source in Las Vegas told me on Wednesday, don't think anyone in Vegas or in the alumni group is that happy with UNLV's current administration. Do you know the single biggest complaint that I hear from UNLV fans? They don't like that they have to pay for parking at Allegiant Stadium. That is, if you look at my YouTube comment section, my TikToks, I hate that I got to pay for parking at Allegiant Stadium. I love going to games there. It's a great place to watch a game. But why do we have to pay for parking? That's all I ever hear about. If that's your biggest issue, and I understand, listen, there's a lot of UNLV boosters that we know who are not real thrilled with the status of that football program, who had really high expectations that were dashed this past weekend. But nobody at UNLV, nobody is disappointed this team didn't go to the Pac-12. Nobody is upset that they are still in the Mountain West. They have security. They have overwhelming financial incentives to stay in the Mountain West. The Mountain West is relocating to Las Vegas. They, by no means, are disappointed. And it's trash like this, where you have the back of the envelope calculation guy writing, people at UNLV are just so what, John? What?
Back of the envelope calculations.
You won't consistently report the same thing. And I'm not telling you, anybody in the sourcing game is not going to tell you who they're talking to. But if anybody tells you that people at UNLV are upset they didn't go to the Pac-12, tell them to pound sand, because that is simply not the case.
Yeah.
That is not the case. UNLV financially is not in a position to take a significant financial risk. And I don't care how you slice it. If you're one of those exiting members of the Mountain West, you are in a huge financial jackpot, because you're paying lawyers' fees, and a lot of them. You have no idea what your TV check is going to look like. You have no idea what your revenue distribution is going to look like. You have no idea if you have access to the college football playoff or not. You have no certainty in your future, except that your games are going to be on the CW. That's your certainty. And it is a very difficult place to be when you are trying to build, when you're think about the best football brands in the new Pac-12. There is no question Oregon State, Boise State, you just Colorado State, Fresno State right now on the up. There's no way that those programs are in a better position now than they were before this announcement of the new Pac-12 because they have no financial certainty. And then you get jackwagons like Canzano telling you, oh, UNLV this and UNLV that, and back of the envelope calculations, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, just no idea how. I don't understand how people think he's credible or think that somehow he's been right about stuff. I just can't. I can't get down with it, and it's weird to me. And honestly, this has been the conundrum with the Pac-12 for ages. Is like the hardcore Pac-12 defender just will never admit that it's just not where it should be, and until that changes, the conversation's never really going to be all that enjoyable, in my opinion.
I want Pac-12 fans to have some kind of calm water. And unfortunately, I just don't see that coming. Jared Curry, are we still ignoring the fact that Wyoming hasn't received a Big Ten offer yet? They are clearly one of the top 7 teams in Wyoming. I don't know how
The dynasty is not over.
how we're not talking about that. See, that's
Well
the kind of
played.
levity I
See,
needed.
well played.
That's the
That's
kind
well
of
done.
levity I needed. And all 10,000 of you watching the show right now, bless you. Because that's, Reister JP, I'm living on the air in Cincinnati. You guys remember WKRP? Let's see. Who else? King of Thailand. But Monty, Scott Barnes said CW will get $16 million per school. What happened? I think Scott Barnes would do things very differently if he could go back. And if he could go back 2 years, 2.5 years, Scott Barnes would do things very differently. Joey B, my Colorado State Rams should have stayed put in the Mountain West and hoped that a Big 12 expansion included them in 2029 or so. I think, and it's not uncommon for journalists to write things like regret or uncertainty, or if you're an exiting member of the Mountain West, I don't know how you don't have regret right now.
Seriously.
It's not possible, because I tend to agree with what you've always said, Jake, and you should roll it out again. You have no idea what you have, but you know what bill of goods the Pac-12 was selling when they came in and got your signature.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that the departing members of the Mountain West who were so eager to go to the Pac-12 and bought this concept of the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. I would agree. I don't know how you don't have regret. And the whole thing about, oh, well, the Pac-12 is going to get this ridiculous TV deal, and like, we're going to get paid, and the Mountain West sucks, and everything's terrible in the Mountain West, and we're going to have a better chance. And honestly, I do wonder, and again, just speculating my opinion, something I wonder, did some of these administrators initially, early on in the process, did you sincerely in your heart buy that this conference would be a P5 again? Was that part of the
I
pitch?
think so. I don't think there's any doubt.
And if it ever comes out that is in fact true, because I would agree, I do think they did buy that. The foolishness of that thought tells me everything I need to know about the people running these schools. If you think that you were ever going to unwind the watch of no longer being a power conference, you're out of your mind. There is no way that was ever going to happen. And again, we sit here in a day and age in college football where everyone wants to cry poor. Oh, don't have enough money, NIL, house settlement, portal, new facilities, Oak State, James be damned. Like we're all crying poor. And then you've got this little swath on the West Coast that seemingly has just endless money trees out on the football field that are just paying for all these legal fees and all these what I would call shenanigans and extracurriculars that just were completely and utterly unnecessary. Like, unnecessary. You did not need to be here. You want to talk about regret? You did not need to be in the position you are right now. You put yourself there.
Yeah, you put yourself in the jackpot. I would agree with that. Make sure you hit the like button if you're watching on X right now. Hello to you. Appreciate everybody. Our show has really grown on X, the X platform, and we appreciate that. Make sure you find the link up in the bio. Coming over to YouTube, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, interact. You see everybody in the comments section. Really appreciate you guys. We couldn't do this show without you. RM Sports Podcast. Okay, go check them out. Freaking love the Pacific Arrogance Conference. Well, and there's definitely some of that. You are not wrong. There is definitely some of that. John Evans from Dallas County, Texas. My SWAC has more games on ESPN than the Pac-12. Well, you're not wrong about that. And yeah, it just never had to be this way. Dude, it never had to be this way. Gabriel, imagine how Gonzaga feels right now. For basketball, you're fine.
Yeah, Gonzaga's chilling, dude.
Gonzaga basketball will be on CBS, and Gonzaga will be their Gonzaga games will be on C-Dub. Their Gonzaga games. Okay.
Gonzaga.
Gumby, how long before Canzano reports that I've received an offer to the Big Ten? Well, have you? Is that true? Are you trying to break some news here on the program? You know. Johnny Gonzalez, Texas State has a better pro rata than the PAC.
It is what it is.
Yeah, Kurt Myers, did the PAC give all their members full shares? Indeed, they did not. They did not. No, they did not. Eric Wasikowski, dead 12 talk is boring. Oh, well, for some people, you know. King of Thailand, Jake, what else was Scott Barnes going to say to the schools that left the Mountain West only to song Pac-2 could sell was the P5 Rebirth, a complete fantasy so huge I would say Pac-2 Live.
But that's precisely and I would agree. I wouldn't take it that far, but the concept of, hey, this is what else was the Pac-2 gonna sell, and what else were they gonna say is precisely the reason why you should not have done it. You knew the opportunity. You knew the challenges they would face. You knew the issues that you would run into, yet you still did it. And inevitably, and you mark my words, before this year is over, this calendar year, not the football season, but before this calendar year is over, I guarantee you we will start to hear rumblings of, oh, well, man, the Pac-12 hasn't quite made as much money as they thought. They're needing to kind of, they're trying, they got to figure something out here. Like they're going to need a boost, and we're going to get some of those rumblings before this year is over. I guarantee it.
Gabriel, if you are a Gonzaga fan, it's time to be disgusted. We'll see. We'll see. Brandon Price. Hello, Brandon. Let's go, Monty. Week 1, we get the Catholics versus convicts.
Damn right we do.
I got to tell you guys, I'm nervous about Notre Dame. I'm not, and I know that I panic on this show regularly.
Well, you were so wrong about them last year. I don't know why you'd be nervous this year.
Do you guys remember all the Notre Dame fans that came in here and said I was a bad Catholic because I wasn't supporting the team? And I freely admit I'm a terrible Catholic.
Come on, man.
I won't get in the rectory with Oak State James because mainly Jake's
in
already
God's name, image, and likeness.
Dude, I'm so stoked for that game. And my wife, this is honeydew weekend.
Oh God. What's on? Just give us an idea. What are some of the list items?
Lots of sex. Just lots of sex. And it's
stay hard.
It's the cross that I bear.
I mean, it is a big burden. I understand,
It's going to be cool enough this weekend that we're going to clean out the garage. We have a lot of stuff in the garage that needs to go to Goodwill. That'll happen. I'm not allowed to play golf this weekend. In fact, she sold my golf clubs to a vagrant who actually uses them more weller than I do. More weller. Nothing? Okay. He uses them. He swings them better than I do. But no, we just have a lot of like garage clean out stuff, and it's her birthday. It's her birthday.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to do what do you, and I always ask her, what do you want for your birthday? crazy.
Nothing.
No. Oh, no. Oh, no. She's like crazy amounts of sex. I'm like, if that's, but if
hold on. You're on the GLP-1 now. You got to get your workout in. This shouldn't be a complaint, Monty.
Hey, they say you gain 12 inches for every pound you lose. So pretty soon,
I mean,
we're going to be Pinocchio over here.
Right.
But the point is,
Do you even lift?
my wife is revolted by my human form. So this is all a lie.
Even if you'd like to be.
Yeah. When you just love it, if you're like, honey, what do you want for your birthday? Oh, I just want lots of sex.
I want it.
Hopefully she doesn't have that kind of bass in her voice. But my point is, no, this is definitely not a honeydew weekend. We've got to get our ass in gear because, we have not done what needs to be done. So I need to get my garage taken care of because I want to have the floor epoxied and clean some stuff out. And so we got to do that. And
well, and the community garage sale is here in a few weeks. And so
I hate the community garage sale.
Yeah. Are we comment section? Do you guys do community garage sales where like the whole block is selling random stuff?
Yeah, anyway, yeah, my wife's birthday is coming up. And so I have to decide, are we doing diamonds? Do I just go get a phallic symbol from a WNBA game and repackage it? Too much? Probably too much. Thanks for not even noticing that, Jake. I'm sorry, are you distracted?
Monty.
What's the matter?
Nothing's
What were you looking at?
Nothing. I was just looking at my phone. The
You were
CNN
heavily
shooter
distracted.
story is rough, dude.
Yeah, I hope you guys are not following that story.
Yeah.
I know it's shocking. We had another shooting in this country.
Yeah.
But or another shooting we're dealing with in this country. But it's not great. But anyway, my wife's birthday. So do you guys go big for birthdays? We've been together. I think this is our 29th birthday together or something like that. No, like our 27th. This will be her 27th birthday with me. Absolute hell for her. So I'm trying to decide, like, is it a diamond ring birthday? No. Is it a cubic zirconia birthday? Probably. Like, are you doing a nice dinner? Like, I just don't know. What do you do for
well, did you ask her what she wants for her birthday at all? Do you have, any sense of like what she would even want?
No idea. Oh, look, Devo Bronk. That's actually why Monty hates the NPAC 12. I don't know what the NPAC 12 is. It's a total threat to the perception of the Western Big 12 school. Fuck, bro. I'm a Notre Dame fan. What do you mean it's a total?
Man, what do you mean?
It's
dude?
a threat to the perception of the Western Big 12. Bro, how much crack did you smoke today? What is the Western Big 12 schools? Just like he turned on the whack when the Mountain West. I turned on the whack. Now, wait, this is a new one.
Monty, this is a new one. Hold on. Breaking news here on the Monty program. We have a new hater alert for Monty, a new reason to so by this comment, we're a Mountain West hater show.
No. I now apparently hate the whack. I hate
Yes, you did. Yes,
never
you
heard this.
did.
I was unaware that I hate the whack.
Like
when the Mountain West started, like the Mountain West when BYU and Utah. So now I hate the whack. The NPAC 12. You're going to have to inform me on what the NPAC 12 is. Never heard of that. Now I hate the NPAC. Excuse me. Is that like a new political action group? The whack, the Mountain West, and now BYU and Utah.
So I said, yeah.
As a Notre Dame fan, it makes perfect sense.
Bro, I don't know what kind of meth they make in Bullhead Land, according to your picture, but that stuff is a little bit too strong, bro.
It's wild to me. Like, listen, you're wearing a cereal bowl for a hat. I guess I should have expected this. I should have expected this when you posted that. But this is a new low. Like, do you understand how desperate Pac-12 fans are to be victims? That's what this is. And I am amazed by it. I am amazed by it. Randy Riding. The Pac-2 arrogance destroyed what could have been a great merger. Pac and Mountain West both would have won. Yeah. And it
Facts.
destroyed one of the best athletic conferences in the country when the original Pac-12 melted down. Because that conference, had they gotten their media rights deal done, and had you taken the $30 million deal, that conference would have been one of the best football conferences in the country.
Yeah.
And that's wild. Roche, I'm taking my wife to La Caliente for our anniversary this weekend. I like it. Monty going to miss some good football cleaning the garage. Oh, no. It's called an iPad and Wi-Fi. 70 degrees in Michigan. Go back to Florida in a week where it's still 85. Oh. Like, how often are you in Michigan? King of Thailand, how many times a day we talking Monty, the morning wood on those medicines is electric, dude? You have no idea. Big Daddy Magic.
Oh, dear.
Timothy.
Timothy, my boy, I wish Notre Dame had the guts to play BYU. We did, and we beat wholesale ass several times. That would be such a bonding experience for me and AJ.
Oh.
But that's what you get when Notre Dame is nothing more than a bunch of puppet socks. Okay. That's cool. I'm 100% Protestant. TCU is a disciple of Christ School. You're not a TCU fan.
Okay, bro. Like,
what the fuck?
Like, what? Like, what?
Oh, my
Bro,
God.
what are you talking about, man?
Did you just say that TCU is a disciple of Christ School? How do I say this politely? Who cares? Like, who cares? I don't care. Yes, see why my wife is awesome. My wife will ask for tickets to either Baylor or TCU football games for her birthday. She will want to go to a football game. My wife loves going to football games.
Yeah.
Loves it. It's fine. Now I hate the whack.
Yeah, I mean,
how do you hate the whack?
Can I just ask, how do you do it? How do you get these guys to say just the most outrageous things in our comment section? I mean, it really is impressive.
Yeah, there you go. That accusation is way too whack to be true. Thank you.
See what he did there? It's like it's whack and it's whack.
My car is awesome. When we went to North Carolina a few months ago, my car handles like a dream. It's
okay. Okay.
Love Muscle, HOA yard sale. It's miserable. I live in an area where we have a community garage or yard sale, and I think probably 10,000 people are on the street, and it's brutal. It's terrible. It is absolutely terrible. Gabriel, dude, no one gives a rat's ass about the whack.
Yeah, who cares?